The goal is not to just lose muscle and feel like shit. It's to lose muscle and still feel amazing. Man, Gertie, you are highly distracting. Coach Greg, and today I'm going to be answering a strange question. How do you lose muscle if you want to lose muscle? And the reason I'm answering this is someone asked me, have you ever made a video or expressed input on if there is a proper way or efficient way to lose muscle mass rather than build or gain? So I asked, well, why on earth would you want to lose muscle, the muscle you worked so hard to get? But then she responded with, well, I'm trying to compete in wellness. I need smaller upper body and more muscle in certain areas. So that makes a lot more sense. But then I thought of it even more and I'm like, wait a minute. Some people just want to lose muscle. Maybe you're trying to compete in bikini. Maybe you lifted weights for a long time and you just are sick of that look. You want to be smaller. Maybe you want to fit into smaller clothing. Or maybe you're like Coach Greg. Maybe you were a bodybuilder and now you're racing bikes. It's hard to go up a hill when you're 200 pounds. So if you lose muscle, especially in the right places, not the legs, then you're going to be able to bike race a lot faster. So in today's video, we're going to go over the proper healthy way to lose muscle. And so I can start out by saying, if your goal is to lose muscle, consider yourself lucky. It's going to be easy. Very easy to lose muscle, and be thankful that you have to lose it. It's a lot easier to lose muscle than it is to build muscle. And if you already have the muscle and you want to lose it and you change your mind, well, the good news is muscle memory does in fact exist. So if you lose muscle for a couple years and you say, oh, that was stupid, I want my muscle back, it's going to come back a lot faster than it did the first time. And so for a lot of you, the problem is you don't actually need to lose muscle. You need to lose fat. I don't know how else to break it to you, but chances are you don't have too much muscle. You have too much fat. And the problem is, if it's fat, the only way to lose that is a calorie deficit. You need to diet, do cardio. And so the tips given in this video are not going to be how to lose fat from certain areas, because you can't. And since the goals are going to be so different for both men and women, I'm going to start with the men. If you're a guy and you want to lose muscle, step one, get off the drugs. You going to try to convince me that you're natural and you have too much muscle? Really? Well, if you are the one in a million of you that simply has too much muscle, shucks darn it, I was born with the genetics and I just can't lose my chesticles. My biceps are so big, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm trying to lose muscle. Well, you could just starve yourself. You could stop eating protein, completely stop working out, lay in bed 24 hours a day and lose all your muscle. But it's not healthy. But if you want to lose muscle in a healthy way and you go off PDs, I do highly suggest you go and do a proper PCT. You could just go cold turkey and lose a lot of muscle, but you're going to feel like shit. And so the goal is not to just lose muscle and feel like shit. It's to lose muscle and still feel amazing. Man, Gertie, you are highly distracting. Like, this is chaos. There should be a freaking cam here. Like this cam. And so this is what happened behind me while doing this video. Gertster. What did you do, Gertster? This is what's happening while I record a video. Gertster running wild. Don't eat my camera. But aside from just going off, you might in fact need to go on HRT like I did. You don't want to have crash testosterone levels. It is not healthy. It's certainly going to cause you to lose more muscle, but you want to lose your muscle and still feel healthy. If you're on HRT, it's going to give your body the testosterone it needs to function and feel healthy. So the easiest healthy way to lose muscle is to stop lifting weights in favor of doing cardio. By not lifting weights, you're not giving your body the stimulus that it needs to build muscle. You need water, protein, energy, and a stimulus for muscle growth for muscles to grow. Take away the stimulus and the muscles are going to shrink. Add to that doing cardio, and you're likely going to be in a calorie deficit, and it's going to be a lot harder to build muscle in this calorie deficit, and therefore you're going to lose muscle quicker. The greater the deficit, the faster the muscle and or fat you're going to lose. But by replacing weights with cardio, you're still training the most important muscle in the human body, the heart. But what if you're female and you want specific muscle groups to get smaller? For the most part, I don't think I've ever met a guy who said, I need to specifically get these arms smaller. I hate my shoulders, they're just too friggin' big. My quads, I don't like quads. I want those to get smaller. I don't see that as a problem. I don't think anyone's gonna ever want that. But for women, a lot of women complain that certain muscles are bigger than they want them to be. In particular, upper body. Most women, for some reason, they don't want a lot of upper body muscles. Don't ask me why. I like it, but I'm not a woman. I'm a circle. I think the reason for this is social media, for some reason nowadays says you need to have an ass that goes on for days or you don't look good. So women on average, they want to look petite and small, but have huge asses. So in particular, women are going to want to have smaller upper bodies. So what do? Stop training your upper body. It doesn't seem like rocket science. To build as much muscle as you can, you should train each body part twice a week, 10 to 20 sets. You want to have smaller muscles, don't train any sets, none times a week. But you're thinking, no, I'm going to go in and just do higher rep sets. Higher reps, lighter weight still builds muscle. Science shows this. You can build muscle as low as 30% of your 1 rep max. Pretty light. However, if you train half-assed like most people are typically doing, or don't train hard, don't do a lot of volume, that's another way you're going to lose muscle. So to make it real simple, train easier than last time. Well, what does that exactly mean? Okay, whatever you did the last time you trained, do less of it. Less reps, less volume, less intensity, less. The key word is less. If you do progressive overload, you're probably going to get better, bigger muscles. Progressive deload, you're going to slowly get smaller muscles. But if you have too much muscle, just stop training. If you love training, you can go to the gym and still train, but do all your sets with, say, 10 reps in the tank. Go and do a bunch of warm-up sets. Show up, do a bunch of warm-up sets, don't train hard, don't do a whole bunch of sets, and go home. Or just don't do it in the first place and do a lot of cardio. I could make a joke and just title this video, hey, just do what Jeff Nipper does. But I'm not going to. Jeff doesn't train that easy. Even before, he still trained harder than most people. So although I've made fun of Jeff in the past for not training harder than last time, he still probably trained harder than you. And the reason I'm saying that is because most people train like pussies. So if you want to lose muscle, train like most people or even easier than that. So whatever body part that you have that's too big, specifically cut out that body part. If it's arms, don't train arms. If it's just biceps, don't train biceps. If you have small biceps but big triceps, don't train the triceps. If you don't like back muscles but you want wide shoulders, stop training your back but keep training your delts. It really is that specific. Train the muscles that you want to grow and don't train the muscles that you don't want to grow. And if you just can't fathom the notion of not training, but you want your muscles to get smaller, then train very, very easy. Only do warm-up sets, warm-up weights. So as soon as you think it might possibly start getting hard, stop the set, it's already too much. Stop, put the weight down. So don't think you can just go into the gym and not rest between sets and just do triple drop sets on every set with high reps. It's not going to be enough. You just need to take it easy. You need to do less. Why not just do cardio? And if you want your legs to shrink because they're too big, you don't train your legs. And if you really want to lean them up or tone them out, do a lot of cardio so that you're eating in a calorie deficit. The more cardio you do, the more likely you're going to be eating in a deficit. If you're eating in a deficit, you're going to burn fat, and hopefully some of that fat comes from your legs and allows you to lose weight where you want. If it doesn't, it's your genetics. Can't do anything about it. You're going to have to keep dieting and remain in that deficit until the point where you lose fat where you want it. And so because you want to do this in a healthy way, please don't try to do it overnight. If you put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle in 3 or 4 months from taking steroids, well, stop. You'll probably lose 15 to 20 pounds of muscle that you put on during that cycle when you're off the cycle and not training. Hopefully the information helped. ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching, Greg Doucette IP Pro. Please watch one of the bloops. And if you want to get harder than last time supplements, to actually build muscle, not lose it, purchase them by clicking the link in the description. I also have cookbooks and training plans to help you build muscle and lose weight. Coaching plans by me and my team. Subscribe, click the bell button, like the video if you liked it, comment for the algorithm, and until next time, I am out.